How do you help clients who are hyper-focused on other people's achievements?
I help them get reacquainted with what their true dream is. I think it's so easy to look at what everybody else is doing and to decide that that's what success means, and so that's what I should go after. But we really want to reconnect with what our true dream is. Like, what is it that we truly want? Like, tune out the noise. Stop looking at what other people are doing. Stop looking at social media, what people are doing on social media, what they're posting, and really reconnect to what is it that you truly want. You know, I have this line in my book that I was actually really proud of. I think it's a good line where I said, when you are trying to replicate someone else's magic, you are taking yourself out of the running for your own. And I think that's so important. I think that as long as you are chasing somebody else's dream, or you're trying to, have or do what other people are having and doing, you are cutting yourself off from your own fulfilling, really cool journey, really amazing, magical experience. It's going to be so much more fulfilling if you reconnect to what it is that you want and go after it in a way that feels good to you, as opposed to comparing yourself to everybody else and trying to replicate what other people are doing. I think as long as you are trying to replicate somebody else's path, you're going to get stuck. I think we all have our own path, and we need to find our own path, especially in an industry like Hollywood, where there's no one way to do anything. If you lined up 10 successful people or 100 successful people and asked them, how did you break in, or how did you get to where you are, you're probably going to hear 100 different stories. So it's important that we leave room for us to find our own story. And that comes from really letting go and disconnecting from what you see everybody else doing.
What's your definition of a high achiever?
That's such a good question, because I use that term all the time. My definition of a high achiever is somebody who, first of all, has a desire for something beyond the base level. Like people say, oh, I want to be a working actor. And I'm like, really? Like, that's such a base level thing. I understand you want to pay your bills from acting, and sure, that would be amazing, but like, that's one, aren't you, you're going to want so many more things, beyond that. So I think, like, number one, it's about the desire for something greater than what's comfortable for most people. And then I think that, a lot of my work in terms of helping people become high achievers is about how you think about what you're doing, what your belief system is behind what you are doing, so that it leads to higher level risks, higher level actions and strategies that then usually lead to higher level opportunities. But so, in my book, I talk about the 10 pillars of the high achiever, and it's really about how you view what is possible and how you view what you're capable of, what you are able to do. So if you're a high achiever, you view the world in a way that you believe that anything's possible, and you make decisions based on your desires and based on your dreams instead of based on fear. You do things that are not based on those Hollywood rules. You really go beyond what I call like the most people pool. So you're not doing what most people are doing. You're doing what the smaller pool of high achievers are doing, which is, you're really looking at the world in a different way and your own dreams in a different way. Like, if you have a dream of winning an Oscar or being a millionaire, you believe that not only that it's possible, but that it will happen for you. And just that belief changes the entire trajectory, of what potential you have in front of you.
So base level, let's say filmmaker, screenwriter, that would be, they want to work on a few projects, not they're looking to
No,
win.
I mean, like, maybe my working actor example wasn't the greatest, because I'm definitely not trying to judge anybody's like level, but I think that, like beyond student films, beyond unscripted, if we're talking about Hollywood, for screenwriters or for any other kind of craft, I think that beyond what most people strive for, because I think that striving for like a base level keeps people safe. You know, I think that most people that have dreams of succeeding in Hollywood, in this industry, their dreams are beyond student films, or their dreams are beyond, you know, just paying their bills. You know, I think a lot of people dream of telling really interesting stories. You know, I think people love storytelling and the art of storytelling. You know, a lot of the people that I work with, they want to make an impact on people's lives. They want to make a difference in the world through storytelling. You know, I think that goes beyond, I just want to be able to pay all my bills from my craft. I think everybody wants to be able to pay all their, you know, bills from their craft, but I think the high achievers, they want more. They want to go beyond that. They don't want to stay safe and comfortable at whatever level is safe and comfortable.
What are some of the Achilles heels of a high achiever?
Interesting question. One of the things that I personally have struggled with, and I consider myself a high achiever, is the fact that I'm kind of always reaching for something, right? And so I think that might be an Achilles heel of the high achiever, where that bar is always moving. And so that, like, one thing that I've been working on is being more present. You know, being more present in where I am and trying to enjoy the moment, because my eyes are usually always on the next thing. You know, I'm always reaching. I'm always on that next thing. I always want to know my next goal. You know, right now I'm in this period where I don't really know for sure what that next goal is for me. And I've never experienced that before. It's very uncomfortable to have to just sit here and be present and wait for it to sort of come or be inspired. And so I think that's probably a high achiever's Achilles heel, is that, you know, they're not really sometimes struggling with being present and enjoying the journey and enjoying where they are, because their eyes are always on the next thing.
Is there no other way around that as a high achiever? Is that just part of the journey, so to speak?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to put my own struggles on anybody else and make a blanket statement and say that, you know, all high achievers will, you know, struggle with that. I think everybody, we all have our own stuff, you know. So yeah, I think, you know, everyone's going to have their own struggles, but it's really about how willing are you to do the work to better yourself and to get where you want to go.